Welcome back to This Day in Scottish History. I'm your host, Colin MacDonald. Today, we turn our attention to a dramatic chapter in Scotland's past, the siege of Broughty Castle on November 22nd, 1547, during the War of the Rough Wooing. Broughty Castle, located on the banks of the River Tay in Dundee, was a critical stronghold. Built around 1495 by Andrew, 2nd Lord Grey, it guarded the river's mouth, controlling access to Dundee and Perth. Its position made it a prime target during military conflicts, particularly in the turbulent mid-16th century when Scotland and England were locked in a bitter struggle. This was the era of the Rough Wooing, a campaign initiated by King Henry VIII of England to secure a marriage between his son, Edward, and Mary, Queen of Scots. The campaign combined diplomacy, subterfuge, and military aggression to bend Scotland to England's will. Following Scotland's devastating defeat at the Battle of Pinkie in September 1547, Broughty Castle was handed over to the English not through conquest but by betrayal. Lord Grey of Foulis, its owner, surrendered the castle in exchange for payment, recognising its strategic significance to the English campaign. The English immediately fortified the castle under the guidance of an Italian engineer, Master John Rossetti, and left a garrison of 100 men, supported by 3 ships anchored nearby. On November 22nd, 1547, Scottish forces led by Archibald Campbell, the 4th Earl of Argyll, made their first attempt to retake the castle. Commanding 3,000 men, Argyll's army laid siege to the English garrison. Despite their numbers, the Scots faced formidable obstacles. The castle's location on a rocky promontory made it difficult to approach, while the English defenders had fortified the surrounding area with a defensive ditch and artillery emplacements. The Scots launched their assault but were repelled by the well-supplied and heavily armed garrison. Their efforts were further hindered by the arrival of English reinforcements. Thomas Windham brought additional ships and supplies, solidifying the English position. Even a subsequent attack in January 1548, led by Duncan Dundas with a smaller force, failed to breach the castle's defences. The siege of Broughty Castle became a drawn-out affair, marked by both sides' determination to control this key stronghold. The Scots and their French allies made repeated efforts to oust the English, but progress was slow. The defenders, under commanders like Sir Andrew Dudley and later John Luttrell, held their ground with increasing desperation. Supplies from Berwick bolstered their efforts, and plans were even made to fortify a nearby hill to enhance the castle's defences further. By 1549, the tide began to turn as Mary of Guise, acting on behalf of her daughter Mary, Queen of Scots, secured French military support. The arrival of French troops reinvigorated Scottish efforts. A final assault was launched in February 1550 with Mary of Guise herself watching the siege from across the River Tay. French forces, led by Paul de Therme, mounted a relentless attack, and after heavy losses, the English garrison surrendered on February 6, 1550. With the castle back in Scottish hands, its strategic importance waned over time. It changed hands again during the Wars of the Three Kingdoms in the 17th century, but saw little military action afterward. By the 19th century, Broughty Castle was repurposed as a coastal defence installation amid fears of foreign invasion. During both World Wars, it played a minor role in defence before being decommissioned and transformed into a museum in 1969. Today, Broughty Castle remains a proud symbol of Scotland's resilience and its storied past. Visitors can explore its exhibitions, which detail Dundee's maritime heritage and the many chapters of history the castle has witnessed. The events of November 22nd, 1547, remind us of Scotland's enduring struggle for independence and the fierce loyalty of its people in the face of great challenges. Broughty Castle, standing firm on the Tay's edge, continues to tell that story to all who visit. Thank you for joining me on this journey into Scotland's past. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another tale of history and heroism. Until next time, I'm Colin MacDonald. Haste you back.